productivity, winning strategies, and aligning employer-employee goals. If this sounds like something your business could use more of, then you've come to the right place. The Business Mechanic Show with your host, Vaughn Sigmund. Let Vaughn show you how to develop, improve, and jumpstart your business. So now, please welcome the host of The Business Mechanic, Vaughn Sigmund.
Welcome to this lesson on elevating your sales team success. Now, I want you for a minute to imagine a sales team where every effort, every strategy, and small win is instantly recognized and celebrated. Whoa, sounds like a big order. I'm telling you, from all my experience and watching all the best sales leaders in the world, this is one of the key behaviors, the vital practices that they have, is a regular diet of recognition. I'm going to get into more detail around that with you. But in the end, the moral to the story is don't wait for the final results to express appreciation. Act now to motivate, reinforce peak performance. As we go through this, we'll uncover the powerful impact of swiftly acknowledging the desirable sales activities and behaviors. That's it. Reward what gets them there. Praise what you seek. Waiting too long between opportunities to praise creates a motivation void. And that can be very detrimental to their motivation, their confidence. So the end, what you want to keep in mind, this is so important. So many sales leaders miss this point. Celebrate the 3-yard gains. Celebrate the first downs along the way, not just the touchdowns. So let's dive in and start transforming your approach to regular recognition to drive your team's success to all-time heights. Let's get started right now. So let me give you the tips on how to do this. This is how you elevate your mindset to elevate your sales team success, which is swiftly acknowledging and praising the desirable sales activities and behaviors. I'm going to get into more of that in just a minute. Don't delay. Don't hold off. Don't look at them having their phone calls, having good phone calls, setting appointments, making presentations as them just doing their job. It's much more than that. Those are the little wins that you want to appreciate and recognize. They're going to get them to do more of that. You want to give them that dopamine hit around setting the appointment. Finally get in touch with that person that's been ghosting them. Getting those little wins. If you hear a particularly good phone conversation using great discovery, following all the training that you provided them on how to have a great discovery session, let them know you saw it. Let them know you heard it. And act now. Recognize it now, because that way you're going to get it immediately after. So let's learn how to motivate your sales team to greatness by regularly bestowing praise. That means every day, y'all. Recognition and giving them rewards. Whenever you witness exceptional execution of activities, behaviors, achieving small wins and goals along the way, all the things, all the behaviors you catch them doing right that gets them the meeting, that sets the appointment, that gets them to the presentation, what they said, how they said it, when they said it, following the proper sales processes and SOPs. Catch them doing that. It's the behaviors that get the results that you're looking for. It's not the number of phone calls, it's what takes place during those phone calls. It's not just getting the meeting, as what did they do, say, how did they say it, when did they say it, that got them the meeting. Recognize those little things, and you're going to get more of that. You're going to get more wins off of that. You're going to give them the confidence we keep talking about. Catch them doing it right and let them know you caught them. You've heard me say this many times. You must reward the behaviors you seek. When you set expectations, You mentor or coach them. They know what they need to be doing to improve their approach. You're going to have to set the time aside to observe. You're going to have to get out of your office, get out of your headspace, and go watch them. Listen to them. When you see them improving, hear them improving, let them know and acknowledge that you saw that work. You saw what they did. I see what you just did right there. Great job. Gratitude unlocks the fullness of life. It turns what we have into enough and more. It turns denial into acceptance, chaos into order, and confusion into clarity. And it can turn a meal into a feast. And thank you, Melody Beatty, for that quote. You too can inspire your team members to do their sales activities using the best practices and behaviors over and over, more bought into, more likely to do. You have less managing of underperformance and regularly giving positive public acknowledgement or private acknowledgement of any kind, a pat on the back, any kind of show of appreciation. But it has to be focused on the activities that they've done rather than the sale that was made. All the little wins along the way. And remember from a previous lesson, SBIR, the better you get at that, specific, behavior, impact, results, that's how to break down your praise so they know specifically what they did to get that result. Be specific. Don't make it too generalized. If you're going to get the maximum horsepower out of your activities around praising, it must be specific. Too generalized, you'll get some positive impact, but not the highest level of positive impact. Anyone for that matter. You want to get better behavior out of your kids, you want to get a better relationship with your significant other, think about praising them, appreciating, and showing your appreciation as a regular routine, as your vital behavior. And don't feel like you have to restrict it. Don't ever have the mindset that if I reward these little things, they're going to coast. Just the opposite. You got to get out of your mind that they're just doing their job. That's a really bad attitude on your part if you have that. They're working hard or not because of you. And I know everybody listening and watching this is in a place where they want their team to excel. And nothing is more vital than praise. It's baked into us. So praise the activities that reflect a good daily selling routine. Praise the end results the members of your team are delivering. Praise the results of their sustained long-term effort. Praise any and every activity you want to see repeated. Show genuine personal gratitude for each and every positive contribution. And that, my friends, is what makes those positive contributions stick. It builds trust between you and your sales team. It builds respect between the two of them. They will go harder. They will go further. They will appreciate what you do for them. Because again, as I say many times, they work for you, not the company. And finding ways to thank them, appreciate them, point out what they did is rocket fuel. There's an old saying, praise does wonders for our sense of hearing. I believe that was Arnold Glasgow that said that. So this is going to be a little shorter one today. I'm going to start heading towards the finish line here. Praise, when given promptly, genuinely, is one of the most powerful tools a sales manager has in their arsenal. And it goes beyond mere acknowledgement of results. It's about appreciation and recognizing their efforts, the strategies, how they said things, following direction, following protocols, all the behaviors that lead to those results. Probably going to require you as a sales leader, especially if you were a high-level salesperson before this, to start unpacking what those little behaviors are. It's work. The hard part's not deciding to do it. The hard part is doing it every day. And if you do that, which is going to bestow upon you huge improvements, you've created a culture of gratitude and recognition. You not only motivate your team to maintain a high level performance with less pushing on your part, but it also fosters a positive, confident, supportive work environment. Remember, every action that aligns with your sales goals and contributes positively deserves recognition. I always have to put this caveat in there. I'm not talking about coddling people. But I can tell you statistically, and this comes from Gallup, 70% of a sales manager's time is spent having to deal with the outcomes of underperformance. So keep that in mind. The more I can drive their performance, the more time I can have back to work on the big stuff, the things you want to work on, rather than performance management, hiring and firing and coaching. And it's a wonder drug. But first, you have to unpack and understand the key behaviors and activities in your sales process, the ones that deserve recognition. Let me give you an activity that might help you. So it'll help you a lot, actually. Done this hundreds of times, and it's amazing. I think it benefits them and maybe benefits you more. Hold a brainstorming session with your team. About an hour, maybe a little longer. It's time well invested. And during this meeting, everyone lists out and shares specific behaviors and activities that they believe are critical to the sales process. Get your whiteboard out, your digital document, your flip chart, whatever it is, capture these, record these, put them into a document that becomes a coaching document. But during the course of this, as somebody brings forward one of their examples, you and the team discuss why that behavior is important and how it can contribute to improved success. That helps everyone understand the value of their actions and aligns on what deserves recognition. Now, they told you what they want to be recognized on. That's the beauty of this. More specific example. And I built this into a sales training program with another company years ago, and to this day, they still use it. They greet a customer. They break the ice. And the first question is, tell me about your situation. In a discovery session, as you well know, you want to get as much information as you can. It's the only way you can make a proper presentation. You have to understand what their needs are. Tell me about your situation. This came from one of the top performers in the organization. And it's amazing how many underperformers said, oh, no, I can't do that. Nobody wants to answer that question. That's too pressuring. They won't know what you're talking about. BS. 90% of the time, they launch right into everything you want to know with one question. That's just an example. So it's what they say at the beginning of the conversation. Tell me about your situation. Tell me more. How does that affect you? And going down the whole discovery, the neuroscientific persuasion techniques. That's one. Second way, think about implementing a system for timely and public acknowledgement around these behaviors. For example, an activity you can do is set up a weekly team meeting dedicated to recognizing outstanding performances. Or make it part of your team meeting. Use a board, digital board, bulletin board, whiteboard, whatever works for you in your environment, where team members can post shout outs to their peers. And if it's a digital board, they can do it in real time, which is awesome. You can even jump in there from time to time too. But you're going to need to ensure that during these meetings, time is set aside for publicly acknowledging these shout outs and discussing the impact of what someone else recognized as a vital behavior. Here's a third way. Personalize your praise to ensure it resonates with each team member. In the previous video, I talked about getting to know them, understanding their goals so that you know what their motivating force is. So take the time to learn about each team member's interest and what motivates them. Keep a journal of that. Keep notes of that. Keep a digital file, notes in your, however you track things. And when offering praise, reference those interests, those motivations. For example, if a team member is motivated by personal growth, you can say, your ability to close those deals shows tremendous growth and skill development. Man, have you come a long way. Great job. Just an example. Fourth way you can do this. Foster a culture of gratitude and appreciation within your team. Introduce a gratitude round at the end of each team meeting where everyone shares something they are grateful for, especially if it's something that a colleague helped them out with during the course of the week, or they saw one of their peers achieve during the course of the week. This continues to help build that habit of appreciation and allows your team, now you got another source of appreciation and recognition and praise coming in from each other. And I got to tell you, that's very motivating to each individual team member, is when they're allowed to recognize each other's efforts. But you have to keep it in a structured manner. Set aside 10 minutes towards the end, 5 minutes towards the end of a meeting, depending on the size of your team. Fifth way, understand the impact of immediate recognition and praise in motivating your sales team. What do I mean by that? Conduct a mini workshop where you present research and case studies on the impact of immediate recognition. Follow these with role-playing exercises where your team members can practice giving and receiving immediate praise in various scenarios. They may be uncomfortable, as you may be, in praising each other. And by doing so, it helps you highlight the importance of timely recognition, creating that motivation you're looking for. Number 6, you need to learn to identify and appreciate the right sales activities and behaviors. Remember, I talked about, tell me about your situation. Open-ended questions, the framing of their questions, how they close, moving to the next step. So create a series of case studies, maybe, based on real sales scenario that exemplify the right activities and behaviors. Have your team analyze these case studies and present their findings on why these behaviors are commendable. This is development, folks. Sounds like a lot of work, doesn't it? What in the world good comes from easy? Nothing good in my life has ever come easy. It comes with work. And you're going to need to help yourself do the work and your team do the work. But the end result is so freaking worth it. This will help them develop a keen eye for recognizing valuable actions. If they know what the actions are, they're likely to imitate them. That's the key. They have to know what's expected of them. And this is the sort of thing that unpacks again, maybe overusing that, but unpack so that they understand all the tiny steps along the way, the turn of a phrase, the getting away from asking a question, a closed-ended question with a yes or no, to going to an open-ended, getting much better at open-ended questions, using power words. Let's do this. I'm going to suggest we do this. Those kind of power moves that improves the likelihood of sale. Those are the sort of things you want to be keying in on, and then praising each other for that. And then number 7, develop some strategies for effective and genuine acknowledgement. Organize a strategy session where team members brainstorm and share different ways to acknowledge achievements. How do they want to be praised? Encourage them to think about formal and informal methods. Now, this is like making a sale. Once I know what they want, I can give it to them. So create a toolkit, maybe a guide, however you want to do it, a methodology, taking their ideas. They've told you what they want. And then you can refer back to that when recognizing them, or even their peers can refer back to that and make sure they praise their peers in a way that they like to be praised. Some love public acknowledgement. Some don't like public acknowledgement. Some like trophies. Some like WWE belts. Some don't. Some like private acknowledgement. Just a private thank you. I encourage you, take some of this information, especially the mindset, and launch a team-wide initiative called Recognition Month, where we get all this kicked off. If you haven't been doing this regularly and very well in the past, commit to it. Get the team moving on it. Do it as a team effort. It's not just a you effort. Together we will go far. Create Recognition Month, or whatever you want to call it, where they lay out each week and focus on a different aspect of gratitude and recognition. Week 1 could be about peer-to-peer. Week 2 would be about manager to team, and so on. And think about some of the activities, the tangible rewards, the intangible rewards, the challenges that would promote and reinforce these practices. Do that over a period of a few weeks. That kind of activity will help drive the behaviors and results that you want. Show your appreciation. Do it sooner as opposed to later. Don't wait for the big stuff to happen. Reward all the small steps up in between. So let me recap this. We talked about the importance of timely recognition, immediate appreciation. Go beyond the results, focusing on all the little activities, the 3-yard gains, the 10-yard gains, and just let them know that you saw them or heard them doing it. Little thank yous. And making sure you're bestowing praise and recognition lavishly. The impact on your generously recognized and rewarding exceptional execution goes a million miles. And you want to make sure you're aligning your sales strategies so they know the winning behaviors are going to get in there, and show appreciations when they're using those winning behaviors. And create a positive feedback loop. Encourage repeat behaviors through consistent praise. And keep in mind always the transformative power of gratitude. Gratitude in leadership is how you express a positive. Gratitude and leadership go hand in hand. So you must understand how expressing gratitude can positively transform your team's dynamics, and it costs you zero. Keep in mind public acknowledgement, private acknowledgement. How do they like to be recognized? and understand that praise is a tool for inspiration, which was what this whole series is about. You need to create a new routine. Pick out the routines, the behaviors that you need to begin following, and then commit to them. Like I said, committing to it is the easy part. Doing it every day and sustaining it is the hard part. You're in for a tough new way for some period of time until it becomes a habit. But let me tell you, the rewards you'll get out of developing this habit yourself will keep you doing it. You'll recognize the importance of having a good daily praise routine. And I'm not saying don't celebrate long-term outcomes, but focus on all the little ones in between. And to make sure your praise sticks, it needs to be personalized. It needs to be genuine. And it needs to be about them. Specific behavior impact results. I've given you all I know on this. Well, let's get out there and get after it. Well, that's a wrap on another episode of the Business Mechanic Show. If today's content resonates with you, then you're going to love what we have to offer. From performance coaching designed to enhance your potential, to executive coaching that guides leaders to steer their ships towards greater success. Are you in sales management or looking to fortify your leadership acumen? Dive into our sales management training and coaching. Not only will it sharpen your strategies, but it will also provide you an ROI that's undeniable. Remember, the best investment you can make is in yourself and your team. And the best part, prices start at just $47 per month, making top-tier coaching and training accessible for everyone. Your growth, both personally and professionally, can have a ripple effect, the one I call the transformational triangle of change. Thanks once again for tuning in, and remember, every business needs a tune-up every now and then. Let the Business Mechanic Show be your guide. Check out our website, rdltraining.com, to discover more details on our programs and coaches. We have a link in the show notes to guide you there. Until next time, we're out of here.